What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be addressing class balance. You know, it's a hot topic right now. Just perusing through the Bungie forums and the Reddit threads, there's a lot of talk about classes. You know, people get attached to classes, and then when they feel like their class is being neglected and other classes are being glorified and modified, then they can feel a little betrayed, and I get that. So I just wanted to offer some of my thoughts on the current sort of setting in the Crucible. And again, this is Crucible. I'm not talking about PvE. You know, I'm not a PvE authority, so my opinions and thoughts on classes really shouldn't be taken into account when it comes to PvE. I'm not an authority there. So anyways, this is all PvP oriented. And so I'm just going to go down through the subclasses. I'm going to start with the Striker. I think that Titans in general are in a pretty good spot for the most part. Striker Titans I think are good. You know, I've played a ton on the Striker Titan, and it's not OP, it's not underpowered, it's got a good neutral game. The super's not amazing, you have to place it well, it's easy to whiff, but it's good for shutting down roaming supers. But you know, I think overall the Striker is not in need of any kind of modification or adjustment. I think it's in a good spot. You don't see too many of them, but you don't see a complete lack of them represented in the Crucible. So I think they're in a pretty good spot. I think that the Sunbreaker could use some tweaking. You know, they got hit pretty heavy with that nerf. I spent a lot of time last night playing on my Sunbreaker, and you know, I did feel pretty weak in all aspects. In the neutral game especially, the neutral game on the Sunbreaker really isn't that good. The super was the thing that sort of made it a major contender, but now that the super has been nerfed, I actually think that the super is in a decent spot right now. A lot of people are saying it's too weak. I don't agree. You know, I mean, I only played a few matches with my Sunbreaker last night. I still don't even have the skill tree maxed out. But I mean, I still racked up a couple of quad kills with the super, and you know, felt pretty powerful while using it. So I think that the super's in a pretty good spot right now. I think they did a good job with that nerf. I don't think they over nerfed it. The neutral game is what bothers me about the Sunbreaker. If you're playing a Sunbreaker well, then you're probably relying on gun skill a lot more in the neutral game, in my opinion. There's just not a lot going for it in the neutral game. The grenades are okay. The incendiary grenade's okay. The thermite grenade is kind of garbo. But I think the thing that would really make up for it, in my opinion, is if you could have some sort of a mobility buff for the Sunbreaker. I think that I'm just kind of spitballing here, but I think an interesting dynamic could be maybe like a skill in the skill tree called Ride the Flames, something like that. I don't know. But anytime that you are standing in flames that you have created, you move significantly faster. Think about how that could really make the thermite grenade a pretty cool tactic, where you drop the grenade at your feet and it spreads the fire straight out in front of you, and then you can sprint at a much higher rate through the flames to kind of basically insert yourself into the fray quickly. And that's the thing that I think that the Sunbreaker needs, is an ability to get up and close and personal without really you know, getting gunned down along the way. So you know, some of the other classes have abilities like the Shade Step that can help them blink, help them close gaps safely and quickly, invisibility, and the Titan just doesn't have that. That could be a cool dynamic. I don't know, I'm just spitballing. But Defender I think is in a pretty good spot. Honestly, the only thing I would do to the Defender is increase the radius of the bubble by maybe like 2 feet. Just a little bit more space to move around, a little bit more elbow room in there would be pretty good. But overall, I feel like the Defender is significantly underrated right now. It's actually a good class. I mean, it's a good class to play. If you go against a good Defender, they can really be frustrating to play against. So that's kind of my thoughts on the Titans in general. Warlocks are a different story. I think that as far as Stormcaller, if we're going to start with Stormcaller, I would say Stormcaller it's honestly in a good place, except for Transcendence. Transcendence is the only thing to me that makes that subclass iffy. I just think that it's too much time. I think honestly, their damage resistance is in a good spot. They're not too hard to gun down when they're in their supers, especially if you're team firing. You can actually drop them pretty easily. The only thing that's a factor is sort of the disorienting effect of being shocked. It really shakes and vibrates and flashes. Right here, I was like, no, teammate, let me get the revive. Let me do it, let me do it, let me do it. Nah, I died. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But anyways, back to the Stormcaller. I think that, in general, the class is in a good place. Some people rage about the increased melee range. I think that's part of the charm of that class. I think of it as kind of like having a lance ability, you know, kind of like a spear. It's an extended melee thing. I think it's kind of cool. I think it adds to the you know, channeling the electric energy sort of dynamic of that class. I like it. Here I choked on the triple. I really wanted this triple. I juked this guy out pretty hard, but then he backs out of my tether and hoses me. But anyways, this is my thoughts on Stormcaller. I think Voidwalker, honestly, Voidwalker's pretty good. One of my beefs, I suppose, why did we nerf the Nothing Manacles? Like, they were never a problem. Now they're just underwhelming. Like, I mean, you may disagree, you may think they're still fine. I don't. I think that nerf hit too hard, and I didn't understand why it was there to begin with. It's an exotic. Make it feel exotic. I mean, I don't have access to the raw data that Bungie does in their studios, obviously, but I never saw too many Voidwalkers running around with these things, and I never felt like I was at a severe disadvantage going against a Voidwalker using the Nothing Manacles. So bring those back. Also, I would love a movement exotic. You know, a lot of people have been saying that for a while now. The other classes have some sweet movement skills, and we want those. And I agree, Voidwalker, let's get some sweet movement going on here. And I don't mean just an extended blink. That's dumb. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't played it obviously, but I want some sweet movement abilities, some quick lateral dodges, something like that, you know, spice it up a bit. But, you know, I still love Voidwalker. I played it almost exclusively for a few days over the weekend, had a lot of fun with that. Sun Singers are a hot topic, probably the hottest topic. Ooh, pun intended, hottest. Ooh, I didn't even do that. I didn't even do that on purpose. But anyways, Sun Singers, hot topic for a good reason. Their neutral game is too strong and requires too little gun skill. It's all about the fireball grenades with Viking Funeral. That's where the issue lies. The fact that all you have to do is throw, you just got to Kobe a grenade in the same zip code, and you know, you'll tag them with a burn that lasts from start to finish with average recovery 14 seconds between when it tags you and when you're recovered. That is too long. That is way too long to take you out of a fight just because you Kobe'd a grenade in the same area, same general vicinity as another player. It's too long. And the amount of damage that it does over time is pretty redonkulous. You just have to stub your toe on the way out of the room as you're trying to escape, and you will die. You'll burn out, and that's kind of silly if you ask me. I think that I think it's pretty clear. And you know, Scorch Melee Overshield, I could be okay with that. You know, the fact that it procs on touch, not on kill, I could be okay with that if the grenade game was not so strong. But look at this. As I'm running, it's all about grenades. I get tagged with a couple of grenades. Even though I'm getting kills, I'm just gonna burn out and die. It's just, that's just the way it goes right now with the Sunsinger. So I think Sunsinger needs to be addressed. And I know that I'm not, you know, some extreme case. Almost all the competitive players that I know right now, lol at this guy. Almost all the competitive players I know right now will openly admit, yeah, it's too strong. It needs to be addressed. It's pretty obvious, especially when you're playing in competitive lobbies. It's obnoxiously too good and requires too little gun skill. So that's where Sunsinger stands, in my opinion. Get rid of Viking Funeral. Not tweak it, not adjust it. Honestly, in my opinion, I would have even more respect for a developer if they just said, hey, this didn't work. We tried it and it didn't work. So we're actually going to replace it with a different skill, maybe a different fun skill that Sunsingers could love and enjoy. Something enjoyable and neat and balanced. But Viking Funeral is not that. Get rid of it. That's my opinion. And you may have a different opinion. That's fine. The only thing I ask is be an adult and mature in the way that you converse about these things. Just because someone has an opinion that's different than yours doesn't mean that you need to insult their grandmother. So just conduct yourself like an adult and be like, that's nice, but I don't agree. Here's why. Always say why. Don't just say you're wrong, because that's just dumb. Moving on. Hunters, honestly, I think Hunters are in a great spot right now. Blade Dancer is fine. Don't do anything to Blade Dancer. Blade Dancer is fine. It's a little bit weak in the super, but it's not too weak. It makes up for it in gunplay. I think that the quick draw perk is what defines that class, not in a way that's broken. So I'm happy with Blade Dancer personally right now. Moving on to the Gunslinger. Gunslinger is perfect. Don't do anything with Gunslinger. Gunslinger is perfectly balanced right now in my opinion. It's a fantastic subclass to play. A skilled Gunslinger is a tough opponent, but not too tough. So lastly, we have the Night Stalker. Now the Night Stalker is a very strong class right now, and the thing is, I don't know if I can point to any one thing that makes it that way. It's I would say it's a class to keep an eye on, but right now I would say it's okay. There's nothing that's super too overpowered about it or imbalanced. I think that the only thing that I've seen is a lot of people will say that smoke grenades need to be addressed. They're maybe a little bit too effective. I'm not sure. I think I'd have to play with my Night Stalker a little bit more to get a feel for it, honestly. I do play it every now and then, but I don't play it, religiously. So that's kind of where I sit right now with the classes. What are your thoughts? How do you feel? What do you think? And how do you think the future of the Crucible looks as we continue to address these subclasses? Thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll catch you in the Crucible.